Sure, I can appreciate that, but of all the positions that need to be filled, I mean, isn't that kind of a key one? Because isn't that the person that pays for themselves many times over?
That's an easy argument to make, that's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hope that you guys move as quickly as you can, and if that is in fact is the case, that that person pays for themselves many times over, then maybe we got to think about more than one. You know, just get 4 or 5, or I don't know what the curve is on that. You know, diminishing returns, but it would be good to identify that, figure that out, and work really hard to do that. But I certainly appreciate the situation with personnel. You know, the part about owners that need to maintain and how it's their responsibility, people would be shocked. I think most people would be shocked to learn that. And maybe if it's, you know, you just tell people that it's your sidewalk, basically. Well, it's a city sidewalk, but you got to fix it, you got to maintain it. And I don't know when we begin to have that conversation with people.
I have to be honest with you, I moved here from back east, and I was shocked the other way that the city came out and did it. It's not that way anymore.
Well, I think it's, do you have that same sense that it's a different expectation here?
Actually, yeah, when I got here, the city that had been long-term practice to go out and do that sort of stuff.
I mean, your neighbors and all the folks around you have to think that, right?
Unfortunately, we live in a new neighborhood, so we don't have any sidewalks
Right.
yet.
Well, I gotta tell you, in Western Chula Vista, people really have that expectation. That it's your city sidewalk, you gotta fix it, and you gotta put it in, and all of that. And I don't know how you get to that. I mean, any thoughts about that? I mean,
Well, I would just say that when we have had those encounters with people, they are quite surprised. So we lay it out for them as best we can, as professionally as we can
Right.
with the code. We encourage them to work with their insurance company. We send them a 1 letter, we send them a 2 letter, we send them a 3 letter, and then generally we get some reaction.
yeah, I think that,
Take care of it, but it's not an easy sell.
I mean, I think this is the sort of thing, you know, along with like the pavement management system, that we just really need to find a way of getting that information out, and not just once, but all the time over, you know, I don't know, till the end of time, I suppose, because it's something you have to constantly remind people of, I think, until people start talking about it amongst themselves at, you know, dinner parties or whatever, cocktail parties. Because I think it's an important thing, and you want to do it, I think, ahead of time, not when you need to fix it and you need to knock on the person's door and say, we've got a, you know, a situation here, and because that doesn't help. So I don't know what it is we do. The public relations kind of thing, issue, and something I think though worthwhile along with that pavement management and some of the other stuff that we do. I guess one of my last comments is that on the issue of that, the repair and how you do that. I mean, couldn't you, I mean, for example, I know in the building department you have standard sheets, standard design sheets for, say, like patio covers and so forth, where someone doesn't have to sort of engineer and draw out a patio cover. They have a standard drawing that they pick up at the building department. I mean, I can imagine that a sidewalk repair like the one that was shown, you know, there's probably only 5 or 6 ways to do that, repair that. Probably no more than 10 ways, probably 3 ways that get used 90% of the time. And the department probably could develop some standard drawings and put them out there and make it real easy for people to do that kind of work, hire their own contractor and just show them drawing and process something like that over the counter, maybe online. And I mean, that's the sort of thing I think that you're gonna need to do, because people have to go out and hire professional staff to do something like that. I'm pretty sure it will never happen. So anyways, just put that out to you. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. I'll be getting more into the report, I guess, as the time goes by. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Renner.
Thank you very much. I'd like to express appreciation of staff for their detailed written report that assist us in preparing for this meeting tonight, and obviously the amount of thought that went into each of the areas to address a subject that probably isn't as exciting as many others, but certainly is one critical to the successful ambiance and the successful quality of life in the city. So I do express appreciation on that. Understanding that the next workshop is the third one and is focusing primarily on the different avenues or resources to address the costs of the many infrastructure challenges we have. I'd like like to make a suggestion, and I'd like to also make a comment. My suggestion would be that the staff would look at the various options and give us at least 3 priorities for us to focus on. Not 5, 10, 8, because it just gets lost as funding options. And I think that's a way that would help this council provide direction to staff for that workshop. Having said that, my one comment is, I would hope that among those 3 options, one of them would not be a bond. That would have to be going to the voters to pay for that. In this time when the economy is very challenging, I just don't think that's something we should suggest or put our efforts in, because it's not practical. We have a lot of people with fixed incomes, and I think we have to be useful of a lot of resources. And at least I can only say, as one member of this council, I will not be supportive of going out for a bond issue for residents to try to tax themselves additionally. That's not what we want to do, and that's not a direction that I will support. So I wanted to let staff know that. And with that, thank you for your due diligence in preparing this report. I'm glad we have this workshop. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. I'd like to echo Mr. Ramirez's comments about how important additional rehabilitation, renovation, redevelopment, development is to the bottom line for tax increment, because that's what's actually going to continue to drive the diversification of our resources. The more diversified we are, the better chance we have on being able to address some of these issues. Call the council's attention to the item regarding the curb cuts begins on page 49 under agenda statement, and our work before us is to approve a resolution regarding those curb cuts. Mr. McKinney.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to thank Jack and Scott and Dave and Rick and everybody for their presentations tonight. This really is a monumental undertaking, and I think that's why it's going to take us 3 workshops to really absorb this. But it is a very, very important part of what the city does. It's a core function, and thank you very much. With that, I'll be making the motion to approve the resolution. Read the heading, waive the text mechanically.
Moved by Member McCann, seconded by Mr. Brennan. Pardon me? I didn't.
I said I had moved it, but
Oh, I didn't hear you.
okay,
I'm
that's okay.
sorry. Madam Clerk.
Doesn't matter, that's what I was thinking.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista approving the ADA curb cuts priority list.
Please vote. Resolution has been approved, and we've expressed our gratitude